Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullets. There's the bullet. Your host Leroy, aka They Hit Him with the Rico, with my co-host.
Yes, and this is Eli, aka Obi-Wan Cannoli.
You don't like cannolis? I like that one. All right, so yeah, back with the episode. And damn, they coming
Look at
in
this.
already.
It's just.
Oh,
do we need it? It's the AI again.
It's the AI.
Do we
again.
need to do this anymore?
We will kill the AI. We are gonna John Connor this shit one day, but that's okay.
I feel
Not
like
right
we
now.
don't even have to do a show. Let's just do this.
Just let them do it. It's algorithms. That's all it is. You know, you can actually like do an algorithm of the title and description and everything. Just let them do it.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get more hits doing it. Yeah.
It'll be like a Siri voice, a Siri like voice. Welcome to the Comic Book Bullies podcast. Hi, I'm your host.
Comic Book Bullies. Oh, what's like Max Headroom back in the 80s and shit? Give me that.
Yeah,
one.
it'll be like, you know,
right.
Eloy. It'll be like something like Leroy. They'll combine our names and shit.
Oh, here's a real person. Here's a real person here. My next AR girlfriend. Your next one. Sure.
You're next, yeah.
Your next one, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure, Jake. Shout out to Jake. Yeah, we're back. Like I said, we're just gonna jump into it. Like I said, we don't have a lot of show, but we got a lot of show. You see the thumbnail. We're gonna talk about the Blue Beetle trailer, and I'm also gonna do a Blue Beetle lore dive. The reason I want to do that because when am I ever gonna get a chance to do a Blue Beetle lore dive? Never, ever. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
whoever thought you would?
Whoever thought I was like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I might as well just get this done. So yeah.
To just bust that Blue Beetle knowledge.
We have to replace with okay. Maybe we already have.
Yeah, who says
we
we're
are
not
not
real?
Here? Hell, I don't know if Eli's real. He might not be.
Me neither. I don't know if Leroy's real.
Right.
Whoa.
This is all a simulation.
Man, damn, this is mind blowing and shit. Man.
Whoa. The Matrix.
I'm gonna go get my tinfoil.
Right. Oh, speaking of conspiracy theories, I have some more this week also, but we're gonna go past that. Okay. Yeah. When we talk about a certain subject, we're gonna get there. But before we get into it, we're gonna do Eli's favorites part of the podcast. Not yet. The box office numbers. So Eli, give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
Top Gun. I don't know. Is it Barbie again? I heard Barbie's killing it. That's what I hear.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm glad you said that. Okay, because the thing, Barbie has been out for 5 weeks. Now, we haven't talked about Barbie on this podcast for about 5 weeks since the movie has been out. Haven't talked about it all. It's been a thing. It has been killing. It's been 5 weeks already. It has already made $1 billion. There's only 2 movies that made $1 billion this year.
You know
Mario
and Barbie. When we were driving back from New York, like going through like Indiana or something.
Yeah,
we saw a drive-in that was showing Barbie on it.
Oh, I bet everybody was just screwing in the parking lot and shit. But yeah, well, that sounds pretty cool. But like I said, it's only 2 movies that have been in $1 billion, and Barbie is one of them. And Blue Beetle is going to. And people are saying that Blue Beetle is being projected to be the lowest grossing superhero movie of the last 2 decades. So they don't even know if Blue Beetle was going to beat Barbie or not. Usually every superhero movie that comes out at least hits number 1. And we don't know if Blue Beetle was going to hit it or not. So Eli, what do you think? Did the streak keep going? Or did Barbie beat Blue Beetle?
Are you talking about just this week, the weekend box?
This week right here, right?
Oh, I don't think Blue Beetle beat anything.
Okay, here's we go. Boom. Okay, Blue Beetle beat it.
Oh, no
Blue
shit.
Beetle beat Barbie. Barely beat Barbie. Even though Barbie had been out for like 5 weeks already.
Well, how about that?
Eli, we did it. We did it. We beat Barbie.
We did.
We did it. Yeah.
Where's our Blue Beetle? Where's our Blue Beetle prize?
Exactly. Right. So yeah. So that's the thing. So it took 5 weeks for somebody to beat Barbie, but somebody finally beat Barbie. It turns out it was Blue Beetle. Even though Blue Beetle is number 1 at the box office, it's probably still going to be a flop because it's already it has a lower opening weekend than Flash, then Black Adam, then Shazam 2, then Morbius, than anything. Yeah. It's going to be one of the lowest grossing
Morbius,
movies.
Huh?
Yeah, it's not even beating Morbius. So yeah, best thing. So regardless of what people think about Blue Beetle, it is going to be a flop. So we already know the memes are coming next week. We know when Goku and Vegeta fighting, it'll be let's fight somewhere empty, and they're fighting in the Blue Beetle theater. We know those memes are coming. So just be ready for them. So yeah. But that being said, I am going to have my review of Blue Beetle, regardless of whether or not it made money or didn't make money. I'm going to give my honest thoughts on the movie. But before I do that, I do want to do a Blue Beetle lore dive. Like I said, I'm never going to get this chance again.
Yeah. When
this
are you going to flex this useless knowledge? Yeah.
Exactly. All my Blue Beetle knowledge I have in my head. Because this thing, now I understand that Blue Beetle is a very obscure superhero that pretty much nobody have heard of. But I did grow up a Blue Beetle fan. However, not of the new guy. I like him, but I was a fan of Ted Kord. I was a fan of the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. Now, who is Ted Kord? I will talk about that because when it all boils down to it, there are 3 Blue Beetles. The 3 of them. I like their legacy characters, like one down for kind of like Peter Parker, Miles Morales, stuff like that. People are comparing Blue Beetle to Spider-Man, but what they don't know is that Blue Beetle predates Spider-Man by like at least about 3 decades. Let's see, according to James Gunn, he'll be back. According to James Gunn lies his ass off. Have y'all not figured that shit out now? Here's what's going to happen with Blue Beetle. If the movie makes money, he'll be back. If the movie keeps doing what it's doing right now, you will never see this movie, this guy ever again. Because James Gunn had nothing to do with Blue Beetle. This is just a movie that just fell in his lap. So if it doesn't make money, he's going to just wash his hands and pretend like it never existed. Of course, he's saying that shit now because he wants to sell. He said the same shit about The Flash. You're never going to see Ezra Miller again.
You know what The Flash needed?
What would it need?
Shaq.
Break that down for me. You lost me on that one. Well, how did it need Shaq?
To make that $1 billion. I don't know.
Okay. Just because Shaq. You had Batman in it and didn't make $1 billion.
I meant Steel.
Oh, Steel in it. If you couldn't make $1 billion with Batman, I doubt Steel would help your situation any better. Just my opinion.
I'm just trying to get the conspiracies going.
They're the conspiracy theories, so that's my thing.
They gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, but like I said, Flash bomb, Blue Beetle bomb. But like I said, it's 3 Blue Beetles. Blue Beetle actually debuted in 1939. It was Dan Garrett was the first Blue Beetle. He found a scarab in ancient Egypt because he was an archaeologist or whatever the fuck he was. I don't know what he was. And then he wanted to fight crime. What was his powers? Nothing. He just beat the shit out of people. That's all he did. That's all anybody did back then. And that was it. Moving on to the 60s. So you had
it was the non-colored guy finding colored antiquities and
to beat the shit out of, because that's what every superhero did back in the 1930s. That's what they did, because they had nothing else to do. They were just bored. In the 1960s, like I said, we're talking about Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko, for those that are following this podcast, hopefully, if you listen to the podcast, you know who Steve Ditko is. He made Spider-Man, Doctor Strange,
The Question.
Yeah. But when he made, basically, he got into it with Stan Lee. We don't know the whole situation. We can speculate whatever it was. Anyway, he said, fuck Stan Lee. I'm done with Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man was like by far Marvel's best-selling book at the time. He left it just out the blue. I don't want anything to do with Spider-Man, and went to Charleston Comics. Now, what the hell is Charleston Comics? Nobody knew at the time. Charleston Comics wasn't even really a comic book company. It was a magazine company that only made comics because it was cheaper to keep the printing press going than to cut it off. So we just need to print something. So they just made comics. And Steve Ditko went over there and got hired by them. Didn't Steve Lee make? According to the internet, yes, Stan Lee made every single superhero in his mom's basement with a 12-inch ruler and a marker. That's what he did, according to the internet.
Stan Lee who?
Right. But when Steve Ditko left Spider-Man and went to Charleston Comics, he made Blue Beetle, even though it was a Blue Beetle that was already existed, but he made the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. So he invented the Ted Kord Blue Beetle about maybe 3 years after he invented Spider-Man. Ted Kord had completely different abilities and sets with than everybody else. But like I said, it was now he didn't just do Blue Beetle at Charleston Comics. He did The Question. He didn't do Peacemaker. He didn't do Peacemaker. Somebody else did Peacemaker, but he had some other people also. But the point is that eventually Blue Beetle, Charleston Comics is not a DC creation. They weren't made by DC. They got bought by DC in the 80s. And that's when they had a reboot and stuff like that. And that's when I don't have the book anyway. But yeah, so and around that time is when they made the Watchmen. And since DC just bought Charleston, they didn't want Alan Moore to use the Charleston characters. He made the Watchmen characters based on the Charleston characters. So the Ted Cord Blue Beetle version is like Night Owl, just like Peacemaker is like Comedian, Captain Marvel, Captain Adam, Dr. Manhattan, Question, Rorschach.
Was Rorschach, yeah.
Yeah, then down the road, because they wanted to use their own character, but they're more or less just those characters. It's just a character, that's it, and that's what's going on with it. So yeah, and like I said, I became a fan of Ted Cord when he joined the Justice League International. That was a team he was with when he became good friends with. Where's that? I'm trying to find the Booster Gold picture. I can't find it. But anyway, he teamed up with Booster Gold. They went on these crazy ass, whack ass adventures. They was a good buddy comedy team that people just like. They were funny. So Blue Beetle role in the Justice League was he was the guy you get when you can't get Batman. That's what it was. He was a tech genius, kind of a martial artist, kind of sucked. Nobody really used him. And what happened to him? Maxwell Lord shot him in the head. The end. That's what happened to him. So yeah. And that's when Jaime Reyes showed up. He was the third Blue Beetle. Around 2006 is when Jaime Reyes showed up. So he was a completely different reboot. Dan Garrett used that scarab. Ted Cord didn't know how to use the scarab, but Jaime Reyes unlocked the scarab, and that's like he had all these alien mystical superpowers and shit like that. And that's what happened. And like I said, he became super popular. And there was one point that Jaime Reyes was in everything around like the early 2000s. DC shoved him in everything. He was in Smallville, Young Justice, Injustice, every cartoon you think of, he was in it, and he was pretty much their guy. They would really push him. That's why he didn't show up on the CW, because they wanted to save him for like movie. They've been working on movies for him like forever, So
and when Injustice, he was one of my guys that I went to. I loved using him as a playing.
I didn't really like his move set in Injustice. I think they could have did more with him. I think they could have fleshed him out a little bit more. Because I was gonna do a combo video with Blue Beetle. I was like, he kind of sucks in this game.
No, I got a combo. I linked a couple combos with him, and I was pretty. I think my Blue Beetle's like purple now because I had how you can upgrade him and shit.
So basically, what you're telling me, you can kick my ass at the game. Gotcha. Okay.
With Blue Beetle, yeah. My Blue Beetle can beat your Blue Beetle.
I believe your Blue Beetle could be my because I tried to use Blue Beetle. I can't do shit with this guy.
Swamp Thing. My Swamp Thing's
Swamp Thing was awesome. Swamp Thing was awesome again.
My Swamp Thing's got wings and shit now. Wings and antlers and shit.
Yeah. So I was actually pretty cool with Swamp Thing. So yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. So that's the Blue Beetle character. Pretty cut and dry. He's in the New 52 doing other stuff, and now he's got his own movie. So let's talk about the movie. What can we say about the movie? What do I have here?
The Power Glove.
The Power Glove shows up in the movie, but I'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, like I said, the movie what is it about this Blue Beetle movie? Okay, the reason I'm not going to talk that much about the Blue Beetle movie because you've seen the Blue Beetle movie. Visualize in your head what you think a Blue Beetle movie might be just based on a trailer. It is exactly that. This movie is not reinventing the wheel. This movie is pretty much every superhero trope you can think of. They shove everything down your throat. Everything they do in this movie, you can kind of see. People keep saying this is Mexican Spider-Man. This is not Mexican Spider-Man. This is Mexican Iron Man, Venom, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Ant-Man. I think I named them all. Yeah.
Black Panther.
Because
he's a king? Or not?
No. King of the Barrio. No, no, because it's very heavy Latino representation in this movie. Okay. It's there.
Okay.
Not over there. It's there, but you can tell because it's a
go ahead.
Hispanic director. I think the writer was Hispanic also. Everybody in the movie who was Hispanic. All the villains were white people. The movie pretty much took place in the barrio the whole time. So yes, this is very heavily influenced by Latin culture, which I liked. Honestly, they gave the movie. I don't want to say flavor. Is that racist? Say flavor? No. Okay,
no,
I can see that. Yeah, okay.
Flavor is racist.
Flavor is racist. Okay. So yeah, so it had a lot of Latin culture in it that actually did bring personality out to the movie. Now I will say, this guy right here. I don't know this guy. I think you know who this guy is.
That's I don't know. He's got a name I can't pronounce, but that's Miguel from Cobra Kai.
Miguel from Cobra Kai. Okay. How's my guy Carlos? Who is Carlos? Did you just make up a guy? Okay.
Carlos.
Please don't tell me you're talking about Carlos Mencia. Please don't tell me you're saying that. Anyway.
Was he in the movie?
No, he was not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hopefully talking about somebody else. But yeah, like I said, this guy, but here's the thing about this guy, Elon. Like I said, you know this guy, I don't know this guy. I will say this. This guy got it. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, that guy got it.
Okay.
Because he carried this movie.
Star power. He's got
star power. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it.
Pizzazz.
Pizzazz. It's there. He's got
Razzmatazz.
He's got it. He carried the movie. He was no, Carlos Mencia was not in the movie. Every Mexican was not in this movie. Just
wait, Cheech Marin wasn't in this movie? What the fuck?
That's funny because what I was hearing that Cheech Marin was supposed to be in this movie, and I think he got recast as George Lopez. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, but I do find it. I'm hearing Danny Trejo was supposed to be on. Basically, the role George Lopez was supposed to be a role to a lot of other people. Like Danny Trejo might have gotten that role. Cheech Marin might have gotten that role, but it ended up going to him anyway. So yeah. Okay. But I would say this: George Lopez kills in the movie. He's awesome. He's funny, which is what he's supposed to be because he's Uncle Rudy. Uncle Rudy is a conspiracy theorist, and I realize that even though it's like heavily Mexican influence and Latino influence, every family of every race has an Uncle Rudy. The conspiracy theorists that always saying crazy ass shit at family functions that everybody's looking crazy like, what the hell are you talking about now? And if you don't have an Uncle Rudy, you are the Uncle Rudy. Eli, I just realized I'm the Uncle Rudy of my family now. So fuck it. What do I got here? Look, yes, Carlos Mencia and George Lopez are two different people. So yeah. One is funny, one isn't. So yeah. So that's going on right now. And that's the thing about what separates movie, because like I said, there is a lot of derivative storyline. Like you know the story beats. Like I'm going through the story beats. I know everything that's going to happen. Even when stuff don't happen when it's supposed to happen, I'm like, okay, where's this part of the story supposed to happen? Like, and it shows up in like 2 seconds from when I thought it was gonna happen. So okay, yeah. But what separates this movie from every other superhero movie is family. That's what separates it, because the family dynamic is what makes this movie. And they say they beat Fast and Furious in family because they say family every other 5 seconds. The thing is, everybody in the family is a character, their personality in the movie. Like you, when the movie ends, you feel like you're part of the family. So I do like a part of La Familia, or if you want to say that. So yeah. So I was loving it. Hold on, let me see again. Does it follow any other comic book series? They take from the comic book series some of it. They mishmash it. I will say this. Okay, Pete. Now, a lot of some other people saying, "Why should I see this movie if James Gunn reboot and everything?" There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, like Big Billy Burger, and there's a LexCorp building the sign. But as far as like how this connects to the Snyderverse or how it's going to connect to the Gunn universe, all that shit, none of that shit matters. There's no Gal Gadot that shows up in this movie, any shit like that. None of that. It's just its own standalone story. Some people are going to be like, well, if the movie didn't connect anything, why should I see it? You go see it to see it. It's okay to watch a movie that, you know, that you don't have to do homework on. You can just watch a movie and it's okay. And just be entertained. And that's what this movie is. Just a one-shot entertainment movie. You know what? I find that refreshing. Because like I said, when you go watch the Flash movie, it's got all this weight of the multiverse on it and all this Snyder stuff that's before this and all these characters popping in and out. And the movie just feels so heavy. This movie feels light. It's there and it's easy. It's easy breezy, get in, get out. It's not the face of the multiverse in there. Blue Beetle is trying to save the barrio. That's it. That's what the movie's about. And I'm okay with that.
You mean it doesn't make you cry? Well, fuck, this movie sucks.
Right. But no, there was some emotional scenes in the movie. So that's why I do got to give the credit movie, because like I said, you were so caught up in the emotion of the family. When stuff happens to the family, you feel affected like, oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because their plight is everybody's plight. you know. Oh, what else do we got? There's another person I want to show in this movie. Who we got? Her. Okay. So here's the thing. We talk about Ted Cord. Even though Ted Cord is not in this movie, but the spirit and legacy of Ted Cord is in this movie. Like I said, the main bad guy is Ted Cord's sister, Susan Sarandon. That's the main bad guy. And the hot chick, the Mary Jane, Megan Fox, whatever chick like that, that's his daughter, Ted Cord's daughter. Okay. So, the unattainable chick that, Blue Beetle can't get because she's too hot, but it turns out she can't get him because
she's out of his league.
Out of his league, stuff like that. But it turns out he gets her anyway.
But then he saves her life, and
right. And then at the end, he gets the girl.
Then her panties drop, and it's all
right
good after that.
Eli, you've seen the movie without seeing the movie. Right. That's what I'm saying. Everything you said just happened. Let's follow the comic story. Between this and Power Rangers, my girl Becky G needs a better manager. Yeah, Becky G is a singer, I guess. She does the AI voice. She basically sounds like Alexa. So yeah.
Okay.
Of the Blue Beetle in his head, like that. That's what I'm saying. The movie is Iron Man because the voices keep talking to him and all this shit like that, like Jarvis.
Oh, so it's what's her face? Jennifer Connelly, right? That was Jarvis.
Jennifer Connelly did Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's voice. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but she was more yip yappy in this movie. Like she's always talking. Even in the movie when they start getting in sync, the AI starts talking Spanish. I'm like, okay, now they're in sync. Okay, cool.
So was it like a Rosie Perez fucking AI?
No. At first, the AI was normal, but then towards the end, like the more they started getting annoyed, then the AI started speaking Spanish. So yeah. So because it basically lets you know that they are one. So that stay was good on that one. What else can I say about this movie? The action. Here's the thing. Now, this movie was supposed to be dumped on HBO Max. It's supposed to be an HBO Max TV movie that everybody just dumped on there. But I'll be honest with you, the movie looks a lot better than I thought it could look. I was expecting to go in there and just watch an hour and a half CW show. That's what I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see Gotham Knights on the big screen. But no, it actually looked good. Well, better than I expected to,
Well, I saw like shot in IMAX or something like that.
They throw that shit on there. That shit don't. they love it.
Please go see this movie.
Yeah, please see this movie. But the movie looked good. I gotta give the credit movie. The movie looked a lot better than I thought it was gonna look. It looked like a movie. I thought it looked like a TV show. It looked like a movie. It looked better than Quantumania. So yeah, okay. I give it credit for that. And that's the thing, like I said, because you can tell the budget of this movie isn't like the other movies. It isn't Flash, and it actually looked at because the suit that he wears, it's a live action suit. It's not CGI. It's a suit. It's one of the best looking suits you'll see in a comic book movie. They really did the thing with this movie. And the movie is so cheap. That's why I got to say that's why they pull out some of Ted Cord's old weapons and stuff like that. And one of them is a power glove. Like, oh, this is his wet gun that shoots the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's a fucking power glove. They walk around like, we can't tell it's a power glove, but we can tell. So yeah, so that's the movie right there. So it's cheap, but they use the money, and it's got better acting in the movie. The characters really stand out. The villains kind of suck. I mean, I think the name of the villain is named Carapax, the Unbreakable Man, or some shit. But he's also got Omega powers, and they're the Red Scare. Like, can y'all pick a villain? They just mismatch some people like that. But at the heart of the movie, like I said, the dude that played Cobra Kai carries this movie. The action scenes get better as it ends because towards the beginning of the movie, like I said, he's learning how to superhero. So he's he's tripping over himself. But towards the end of the movie, when he starts to believe in himself, all of a sudden he's doing kung fu shit. And he's even doing the Bruce Lee move, okay, bad guys, the come for me, that shit, So I'm like, okay, so even the action scenes evolve and progress and tell a story. We're I gotta give credit for that. So, like I said, this feels like the movie that could. Now, I've seen some other reviews online, and I've seen some Hispanic reviewers, and they're basically saying this is 12 out of 10, 6.5 out of 5. This is you got Empire Strikes Back, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, and then Blue Beetle. That's how they're ranking the movie. I'm like, no. It's not. People are ranking this over the other DC movies. No, it's not. I put it on the same level as The Flash and Shazam and Black Adam. It's on that level. None of those are bad movies. None of those are great movies. They're just movies. If you want to sit down and watch a movie and be entertained for a while and be like, yeah, that was cool. Those movies will scratch the itch. Now, I know it's fun to shit on those movies because of the box office that nobody's looking at him, and James Gunn is always saying stupid shit. It's fun to shit on these movies, but at the end of the day, they're all fun. None of these movies are Green Lantern. None of these movies are
Steel.
None of these movies are on that level, man. They're fine. They're entertaining. I know people want everything to be Endgame. No, these movies are not Endgame. I'm sorry. I don't think we're gonna get another Endgame. I'm sorry. But if you just want just a movie, but if you're sick of superhero movies and you're burnt out from superhero movies and you do have superhero fatigue, this movie will not solve that problem. So, like I said, you watch this movie, damn near every scene in this movie will remind you of another superhero movie, a better superhero movie that do this shit. But it's just cool that they did this shit right then, So, like I said, it's cool. It's cool.
I've been hearing good things. So, I mean, yeah.
People are whatever you heard, Eli, people are overrating the hell out of this movie. So if they're saying it's the best,
rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
But you know what it's rated right now on Rotten Tomatoes? I looked right before we recorded. It's like at a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is decent.
That's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. People, but you're gonna see a lot of people. Here's the thing: a lot of people right now, before the box office, are going to rate it as the best superhero movie of the decade, the best movie since Endgame. But wait till the box office numbers come out and it starts flopping and it's lower than Morbius and shit like that. Watch everybody shit on it just like everybody else does, because that's groupthink. That's how everybody thinks. What's your rating? Oh, you want to get ready? Okay, let's get to the point. Okay, 3.5 out of 5. It is the most 3.5 out of 5 a movie can possibly be. It's right there.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah. And I guess just a little FYI for everybody. Johnny J, the woman who started the website A Tribe Called Geek, the one that I write for, I guess she sells a lot of merch and shirts, and I guess one of her shirt designs is in this movie.
Is it? Well, I couldn't tell you because there's a lot of designs in, so I couldn't tell you what.
I guess she posted it. One of the characters was wearing one of her shirts, so she was all stoked about that. So I thought that was cool.
There you go, shameless plug.
There you
go. So that's cool. So like I said, not people are going to say it's the greatest movie of all time. It's not. It's just another superhero movie,
or the shittiest movie of all time.
And people are going to say it's the shittiest movie of all time. It's not. It's just another superhero movie. That's all. If that's your thing, go see it. If it's not your thing, don't go see it. Or wait till HBO Max. This thing will be on HBO Max in a month.
Yeah.
If you watch it then. Flash comes out next week on HBO Max. So, there you go. So yeah, that's all I got from that one. So Eli, what you got?
What do we got? What is next?
I think you had something, but I don't know if you had something.
Oh, we just added this. Okay. That. There we go. And then we do the brand. Is it the brand?
I think so. Hold up. I think Jake got something else on here. Let's see.
Yeah.
What Eli worth? I thought you made Bank for his podcast and all this money. Yeah. Not quite. Almost there.
Huh?
Oh, that. He did it.
Where the hell did I put it? It was under brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell did I put it? Unless I'm totally blind.
You got something down there. Monarch Legacy.
Yeah, I got that, but where's the image though? I thought I put the image on there. Or is it Banner? Is it Banner? No. I thought I put it in there, but maybe I didn't, or I'm just blind and can't see shit. Probably what it is. I'm blind and can't see shit. Yeah. Well, you know what? I got it in the folder, so why don't I just bring it up?
Okay.
So just real quick, this is nothing, not a big. Oh, I did not do this, did I? Bring that up. Oh, and it's super small. Here, let me blow it up. Yeah. Oh, totally unprepared. This is why Leroy runs the show and I don't. Yeah, here we go. So, yes, we have the first look at the new Godzilla live action TV series.
Looks pretty decent.
Which is called Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
So it's not even called Godzilla?
Yeah, it's taking place in that monster verse that we've seen, like the new Godzilla movies with Kong and the little Stranger Things girl and all that, it's taking place in that universe. And I guess it picks up right after the events of that first Godzilla movie, the one in San Francisco. and it follows a family that finds out that their grandfather or somebody, I think played by Kurt Russell, is working for Monarch and knows all this stuff about monsters and shit. So it's about that. Godzilla and the rest of the, I'm sure King Ghidorah and, Rodan and Kong and Mothra are probably going to show up in it too at some point. So, I'm into these movies. I think the American movies are okay. They're kind of hit or miss for me. I do like some of them better than others. But my thing about this is, why is it on Apple Plus? Why ain't it on HBO Max with all the rest of those movies? That's where all the rest of the movies are. Like,
True.
Like now I gotta subscribe to Apple Plus to get to see this shit.
Apple Plus like $5. It's not that bad.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah. It's like the cheapest service out there.
Because I have it.
And plus, if you look hard enough, you can find a free. I haven't paid for Apple Plus since January, and I've watched Ted Lasso and all this shit that's on Tetris and all this shit like that. Hey, pay for any of this shit because they keep sending me free shit. Watch Apple Plus for Apple TV for 3 months. I'm like, okay, sign up for it, just watch shit. So.
Yeah, I just got rid of it again. I signed up to watch, like, what did I sign up for? Yeah, I watched that Tetris movie and then I got rid of it. It's like,
fuck that. If I get another free code, I'm giving it to you.
All right. Yeah, right when this drops.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it looks decent. And if you're into those movies like the King of Monsters and the Godzilla, my favorite is still Kong Skull Island. I like the ones with Kong in them. Like Godzilla versus Kong was fun. Kong Skull Island was fun. The Godzilla movies were just kind of mediocre to me. But yeah, I'll check this out. So
cool.
Yeah, that's about all I got to
see. I thought it was a whole trailer. I didn't know it was just a picture, and that was
it was just like the first look. And yeah, I think there's some pictures of Kurt Russell and what's his name, the guy who played his son, who played in Falcon Winter Soldier. As,
Jack Quaid, but that's not his son.
No, it is his son, isn't it?
No, that's Dennis Quaid's son.
Is it?
Yeah, his name is. Wait. No, I'm getting.
I thought that was Kurt Russell's son, who played U.S. Agent or whatever.
Oh shit, that is his son. What am I thinking of? I don't know what I'm thinking of. That is his son. Okay.
Are you thinking of The Boys? That's.
I'm thinking of Randy Quaid. Yeah, not Randy Quaid, but Jack Quaid. That's what I was thinking of.
Jack Quaid is Dennis Quaid's son.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm getting them confused. My fault. My nepo baby's confused. My fault. You played New Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I have not.
He did not. We just talked about that.
We were just talking about that. How I didn't get I've been busy all weekend. I didn't get a chance to. But my brother, who usually is on here,
but he's playing the game right now.
He's probably playing it right now.
Right.
He was showing me clips and showing how you can make characters and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But to tell you the truth, it kind of looks just like the Jason game or Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Only with Texas Chainsaw character.
But that's okay. What I'm gonna do is steal his footage from last week, the next week, and then review it then. How about that? Yeah. We will find a way. All right. So let's jump into the next part of the podcast. This is a Debbie Downer, but I want to save it for the middle part. But I don't know why. I just want to talk about this. Let's call.
I got my popcorn. Where's my popcorn at?
Yeah. Let's see. Where is it there? I can't find it. Where is it? I had it and I want to. Okay. We can't even. I can't have nothing. No. Did I do it twice? I did it twice. Okay, now I'm screwing up. How am I screwing up?
Why are you screwing up, man?
I'm screwing up, man. Shoot. Screw it.
Did I fuck it up when I added my shit?
I think so. I think you deleted the shit out of it, but that's okay. I just type it in. Doesn't matter. Okay. So what we're going to talk about is briefly we're going to talk about, what was that? The Michael Orr thing. That is it nerd related? No, I don't care. We talk about a lot of shit that's nerd related. I just want to talk about it because I just want to just get it off.
It can be. Let's see. Let's connect it to nerd shit.
Connect it. So find a way to connect it to
Blue Beetle. He's a football player.
He's a football player. Okay.
He's a football player. And
find a way to connect it to Kevin Bacon.
We knew a guy, Boogie, who does a football podcast, who also did a comic book podcast with Gomer.
Okay, I'm following you so far. Okay,
that's it. That's all I got.
That works. Hey, that works. There you go. Okay, so that's the name of the subject. Blindside sucks.
So a comic book nerd who likes football Yeah, that's all. Did a podcast.
That's all. That's all we got. Okay. So, like I said, let's just talk about it. I just want to briefly talk about this because this is stuff I want to just get off my chest, and I got no other place to talk about it. But here, so I'm gonna talk about it. So, like I said, we're gonna talk about not Cobra Kai.
What's that from, man?
That's Cobra Kai.
Yeah, it's Cobra Kai.
I've been looking for that, but I couldn't find it. But now I found it. But I found it after the fact. But that's okay. We'll keep going. This is what I was looking for, the Orr family. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Michael Orr, and basically he's came out about how the Tui family basically made up all that bullshit that they said about The Blind Side. Which, here's the thing, Eli, I found on an old podcast, but we have already talked about this shit. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna load up a clip from that episode about us talking about that shit.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, I do remember that.
Roll credits.
So kind of like, what's that movie? With Sandra Bullock and the football kid.
I hate that fucking movie, man. Oh, okay.
You know, the white person discovers the golden minority movie.
Yes, I know it. Oh, I hate that. Blind Side. That's the name of that damn movie. Here's the thing. They made that fucking story up. That dude was not homeless and didn't know his name and shit like that. No, because he was a real guy. Even they interviewed him after, like, they made that shit up. I was never like that. Like, he did live with a white family, but it wasn't like he was like, they just drug him off the street, no shit like that. And he couldn't barely talk for like 5 years. He wasn't nothing like that. He wasn't like some big animal, no shit. No, he was a regular dude. So, and plus, we already know they only got him because they wanted to, because they were recruiters for Mississippi State. We know that. So
they say that in the movie, didn't they?
They say that in the movie, but they try to play like, we didn't really mean it like that. No, the fuck you did. You did mean it like that. See, I think that's the first clip show we've ever done on here. I'm surprised Elo knows what football is. What, foosball?
Yeah, football. F-U-T-B-O-L. Football.
All right. So that's the reason I want to talk about that, because the reason I want to talk about that because of everybody is finally talking about this stuff that has been going on since 2009, but they're going at the wrong person because they want to cancel Sandra Bullock for this. Like, leave Sandra Bullock alone out of this. Sandra Bullock has nothing to do with this. She's innocent of this whole thing. Trying to see if I can find a picture of it. Yeah, she won her Oscar. She did her job. She went in, got paid, and that's it. So she played a piece of shit person. Guess what? Lots of people that win Oscars play piece of shit people. That's what they do.
Those are the most interesting characters.
Those are the most interesting characters, right? So leave Sandra Bullock alone. We love Sandra Bullock. She's been
Joker made $1 billion, motherfucker.
Right. Nobody want to cancel Joaquin Phoenix for that, you know. You know. And so leave Sandra Bullock alone. Let her make her money because we love Sandra Bullock. She's entertained us for 30 years. Speed, Demolition Man, The Net, Bird Box.
Oh,
you know,
The Net. Yeah, that was a good
The
one.
Net. Yeah. 90 Sandra Bullock. She was tough, man. She was tough. Yeah. Anyway, leave her alone and go after Tim McGraw because he was in that movie also. He didn't do anything, but he just looked like he did shit. So just go after him, you know, just for no reason. So yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I got about that. But the thing is, people are just using this Michael Orr situation because honestly, I don't give a fuck about the real life situation. Maybe he's screwing the family over, maybe his family screwed him over. Let them deal with that, whatever like that. Although it really does sound like modern day slavery. If I really want to put it out there, because think about this. Okay, basically, people don't know what conservatorship is.
Uncle Leroy,
Uncle Rudy, whatever you want to call him, I'm gonna put it out there because I wasn't gonna go there, but now I'm gonna go there. Okay, because if anybody don't know what conservatorship is, like I said, when it happened with Britney Spears, everybody was upset.
they made a whole documentary.
Free
about that
Britney,
shit.
all the
Free
shit like
Britney.
that.
Where the fuck is Britney being held hostage?
Right.
Free Britney.
She's in a mansion or some
what
shit
the
like
fuck can't she do? Like,
right. Right. But when Michael Orr in the same situation,
I'm pissed off now.
Uncle Eli. So, but when the same conservatorship get hit with Michael Orr, we don't pay any attention to it. But it's damn near the same thing because basically they're saying that he isn't even in charge of his own finance. So he's doing all this crazy shit, busting his ass on Mississippi State, high school. He didn't make a dime off this movie. They just made up some bullshit on it.
I'm just reading the banner now. I didn't know it.
That's what I was trying to find out. Like, did Eli erase my shit? You know.
Is that what it said originally?
Yes, that's what it said originally.
Okay. I thought you said I can't find. Let me make a new banner real quick.
That's what I made. So yeah, that's what I was gonna make. It didn't make it this time. So yeah. So that's my thing right there. So So whether or not the family's doing like that, let the courts decide on that, who gets screwed up like that. But I do want to talk about the actual Blindside movie. That's what I want to talk about. Because people are using this to dump on Blindside. Like I said, dump on Sandra Bullock, leave Sandra Bullock alone. I will fight you, motherfucker, for Sandra Bullock. Not physically, because I can't fight. I will argue with you online for Sandra Bullock, But the point I'm trying to make is that people are using this to dump on the Blind Side, because the Blind Side is one of the most egregious examples of the white savior trope we can get away with. They say, finally, we can get rid of the white savior trope. Like, no, it's not. Here's the thing, Eli. I actually don't have a problem with the white savior trope. I get it. I understand it. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, stories, people want to see themselves represented in stories. Like I said, we just talked about Blue Beetle. And like I said, every Hispanic reviewer is saying it's the greatest movie ever made. Why? Because people want to see themselves represented. So if you look at Hollywood, who's the majority of people making these movies in Hollywood? Do you think Martin Scorsese is going to make a Black Panther movie? No. It's not going to happen. Quentin Tarantino? No. They're going to make what they want to see. So, of course, if that's who's controlling Hollywood, of course, they're going to make the movies they want to see. So I got a problem with the white savior trope. Make as many as you want to. And plus, the white savior trope is so embedded in Hollywood or in storytelling in general, you can't get rid of it anyway. Hell, Star Wars is a white savior trope. So, now radio is so much worse than that Blind Side. Is a white savior trope? I guess. I don't know. But my thing is this. Here's why I want to say this is controversial, Eli. Why I didn't put this at the beginning, I'll put it in the middle. Because the white savior trope is not what bothers me. The magical Negro trope bothers me. Now, the thing is,
I get that.
Yeah. Now, people don't know what the magical Negro trope is. So the magical Negro trope is, I'm going to explain it real quick. It's when the Black person teaches the white protagonist a skill, magic power, technique, something like that, and the white person learns the skill and gets better at what they need to do.
There's always in native movies, there's always the native medicine man or the native shaman who bestows the knowledge on the white guy to go he can go kick ass and bang the native princess at the end.
Right. And the moment the Black person teaches the white person that stuff, they're either killed off, written off, kidnapped, thrown in jail. You never see them again for the rest of the movie. Just go or just whatever. So you never see them again for the rest of the movie. And that's the problem I have, because that's what happened with The Blind Side. So, like I said, Michael Orr was basically a football phenom from the jump. They didn't save him. They didn't rescue him. That was the whole point that he was trying to make in that. But they're trying to do that. So here's what I decided to do, Eli. I'm going to make a list of magical Negroes.
Okay.
Not all of them, because there's too many of them. But I'm going to just list some of them, some of the ones that jump out at me. So first off, yo boy.
You really went deep on this.
I've been thinking about this since we started this podcast.
You got a whole PowerPoint presentation.
Right. So like I said, first off, yo boy, Bagger Vance.
No.
That's
never seen
that.
Your
boy. But like I said,
what did he do? What was it? Was that the golf movie? Was he?
That was the golf movie where he was like a ghost and he was like a caddy and he like gave wise sage wisdom to Matt Damon.
He was a caddy.
Yeah, he was a caddy. Yeah. But he was a ghost caddy. He wasn't a real caddy. He was a ghost caddy.
He was a ghost.
He was a ghost caddy. Yeah.
Why was he a ghost? Did they shoot him on the fucking golf course?
Probably. I don't know.
These are his golf. I'm not stealing these clubs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He just shows up when he needs, and then he just disappears, and that's it. That's it. So, but that's not the one that pissed me off the most. Okay. Have you ever seen The Hunger Games?
Once, yeah, I did.
Okay,
one of
The
them.
Hunger Games is a victim of the magical Negro trope. Okay, boom, Rue from The Hunger Games.
I don't remember it very well.
Okay,
yeah, I think
honestly, watching this scene, I was like, wait for it. I knew it was gonna happen, and it happened exactly what happened. It was. So here's the thing: Jennifer Lawrence didn't know how to do anything in the movie. She didn't know how to hunt, didn't know how to anything, shoot arrows, none of that shit like that. Rue taught her everything. Rue knew how to do everything: hunt, do everything, find people, all the shit like that. And she taught Jennifer Lawrence how to do all this shit. Do this, and like that. And the moment Jennifer Lawrence learned all that shit, guess what happened? Rue dies, motherfucker. Died just like that. Like, how the hell did you die if you know all this shit? Why don't you just use the shit that you just taught her to keep yourself alive? How you die immediately after that shit. So that's the shit that happens. What else we got? Morgan Freeman. We're gonna say Evan Almighty, but honestly, Morgan Freeman in every movie he ever plays, that's kind of just what he does. That's how he stays in business. That's all. You're gonna get mad at me for this next one, Eli. Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed was a magical Negro in Rocky 3. That's really what
4 movies to kill him, though.
No, he died in the very next movie. Because, like I said, he was there. Oh, Mr. T is too tough for me. Oh, Apollo Creed will show you how to fight, in our ways. And then the moment he did, dead. That's it. So, what do we got? I don't even know what I got. I'm just running down the gauntlet. What do we got? Oh, Morpheus. Magic Negro.
Morpheus didn't die, though. But he was
kidnapped.
Like, yeah.
He was
the fucking,
and he died in the 4th one. But he was pretty much the moment he taught. And Oracle was also.
Oracle.
Yeah. Because like I said, he was there, trained him in everything he needed to do. The moment he trained him, got kidnapped, and then just sit there, wait for it to get rescued. I like, okay. Like I said, I like the movie, but it's just stuff I just noticed in that movie. I think we got another one. I don't even know what this is. Oh, not that one. This one. Not that one. This one. Did I erase it? I erased it. Damn. Never mind. Anyway, that's some of them. I have a whole list. I had a list. I just picked some of them. I didn't name Green Mile or any other movies like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or I would just say the one I was thinking about. Doctor Strange. Mordo, Chiwetel Ejiofor was literally a magical Negro. He knew magic, taught Doctor Strange magic.
And where's he been since?
Well, he was supposed to have been killed off by Scarlet Witch in the 2nd movie, but they didn't have time to put the movie in. Put it in. It's like she was gonna walk up with his head or some shit. So yeah. But that's the point of that. But yeah, so that's the problem I have with the movie. That is a trope that needs to be addressed, that people need to talk about, that Hollywood need to consider. Now, that's why I had this picture of Star-Lord right here, because the thing about Star-Lord is that one thing, if they rub me wrong the way, is like Star-Lord just happens to be the leader because he's the only white guy. So of course he's just the leader, even though Rocket is more qualified than him in every way possible. That's why I like the 3rd movie the best, because okay, finally Rocket is the leader of the team, which he should have been to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my thing. So anyway, point is, Blindside sucked. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. All right.
I did see the movie. I did enjoy it for what it was, but I was conscious of everything you said.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And I can watch these movies. And a lot of these movies that I name, I do like. I love Rocky 3. I love The Matrix. But at the same time, I can watch these movies and still point out these things I saw. Just because you spot a trope don't mean, oh, it sucks. No. Because you can spot tropes in every movie, one way or another. It's just things I just pick up on, I just notice and see, and I just wish y'all would do something about it. And of course, I'm not gonna get a Rocket 3 because that was back in the 80s, so I can't be too harsh on that.
I mean, the Blind Side is more about Sandra Bullock's character. It's basically about her, and then they kind of make him look like a caveman,
right?
You know what I mean? Like he's barely in it, but yeah. So yeah, I was conscious of all that stuff, but I thought it was all right. You know what I mean?
So, all right. So that's all I got to say about this. We can move on past that. Honestly, I don't want to talk about the movie ever again. But if I have to talk about the Magical Negro trope again, when I see it again, I might bring it up. Let me say, let's move on to the video game section. We're going to move on past it. Okay. We're going to talk about something we really... Okay, since Jake want to talk about foosball, we're going to talk about foosball. We're going to talk about Madden 24.
A review? No shit.
I didn't play it. I was going to say it's just the same as Madden 23, just with new shit. I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah. I just threw that down there for buzzwords. The reason I want to talk about Madden 24 because I already know what's going to happen. People are going to bitch on shit on this game and basically saying they changed too much shit for Madden 23, even though I can't tell the difference on this game. And when Madden 23 came out, people were doing the same thing. Oh, this shit terrible. It wasn't like Madden 23, 2 and 2. So they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So here's my thing. When people keep bitching about Madden like that, my thing is stop buying Madden. Now, I'm not saying don't play Madden. I'm saying stop buying because I'm giving you an alternate solution what to do, because this is what I plan to do. And when I do, I actually might review Madden next week. Even I don't know what the hell I'm reviewing, but I review next. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the EA Play Pro. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if you do, because here's the thing, Madden is what, $70? You're going to pay $70 for Madden. However, if you get the EA Play Pro for $100, you can play every EA game for a year. Every game, including Madden 24. So you can play that. You can play Mass Effect. You can play all the Burnouts. You can play, give me another EA game. Whatever there is, you can play it. So, and that's what I recommend you doing that. And then when a new game come out, you just download that, and that's it. That way you got to worry. So you're paying $70 for one game. I'm paying $100 a year for every game. Isn't that better? Stop buying a sports game. They're all the same game. Jake, people like sports. That's what they do, you know. So I know people that will only play Madden, only play 2K, and that's it. And they don't play anything else. They don't know anything about Street Fighter 6 or Uncharted or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They don't know anything about that shit. They just play one game.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage. They don't give a fuck about any of that. My system is here to play Madden, and that is it. And they will play that shit 3 hours a day.
Yeah, and I would rather, I want to download those new characters for the new Ninja Turtle game. That's what I do that before I play Texas Chainsaw.
Well, hell, do that, review that.
Yeah, just play with Yosagi Ojimbo, and who else was on it?
Karai's on there. And people got mad at me because I mentioned Karai, like, but isn't she on the Foot's team while she fighting the Foot? Like, why you give a fuck? Like, God damn it, I'm just saying some shit, you know.
Just flexing that knowledge, son.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all my Blue Beetle knowledge of you. All right, move on to the next part.
Why you gotta ruin everything, Leroy?
Right. I can't even make a suggestion, man. Like, you just throw in some bullshit. She switched up the side. She fucking Raphael. Something. Give me something. You know. All right. All right. Next part of the podcast. This is Comic Book Bullies. We're talking about comic books, and we're gonna jump into it. Eli, I'm gonna let you go first so I can take a breath. And
okay. Well, I will do. Is this my book of the week? Will this be my book of the week?
What's your book of the week?
Ghost Rider number 17.
I read it, but
part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you think. No.
Okay.
It's you. You do it. I'm just saying I read it because, like I told you, when I read the last one, I was like, I'm on board. I got to see where it goes. Oh, let me get back up there. What about Madden?
Yeah. So this is part 2 in this Spirits of Vengeance or whatever it's called, or Weapons of Vengeance. This crossover with Wolverine and Ghost Rider. And Benjamin Percy is writing both books, so he's seemingly crisscrossing these storylines.
I do want to say one thing, that this story referenced the fall of X, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So yeah.
That's basically my only gripe, is that it's basically tied to this.
See, that's your gripe. That's what got me into it.
That's what got your dick hard. Like,
right. Like,
ooh, they mentioned the Hellfire Gala. Ooh, splash.
Right.
So yeah, this is part 2. Basically, Wolverine and Ghost Rider have teamed up to find this kid that they thought was a mutant, but he's not. He's possessed by some demon that's making him do fucked up shit, like killing people and turning them into fucked up Hellraiser sculptures. Pretty fucking gnarly. They're trying to find him, but they can't. Every time they find another murder, the cops always have the crime scene blocked off.
And even afterwards, they fuck up the crime scene.
Yeah, and they fuck up the crime scene. They take the body, take a bunch of evidence. All they can do is smell. Wolverine can smell, and Ghost Rider can sense the evil energy, but they need more. So what do? A dude at a baseball game who's a mutant, or wasn't he? So it's somebody going around killing mutants.
It's Brown.
Yeah, going around killing mutants.
Here's my thing. I'm theorizing.
Okay.
Because of that shit Professor X did to him back then, he's strictly killing mutants now.
Okay.
That's what I think.
That makes sense. That would make sense. So he's at a baseball game and he's taking a piss in the bathroom, and then someone comes in and basically makes a fucked up sculpture out of him, and Wolverine and Ghost Rider show up, basically disguise themselves as the forensics team, and they do a bunch of investigating, and they go and see who's that guy's name again? Wolverine knows him, right?
He's been in the books. He's been in the Wolverine books.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but the CIA guy.
Yeah, so he's doing basically trying to figure out his energy signature and stuff like that. They go to this other guy, this who's something about the orphan murder. I can't remember now. And he's got a kid. Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah. So this dude's got a kid all chained up, and then Ghost Rider fucking
busts a hole out of Johnny Blaze's chest.
Yeah.
let me out now. I want this motherfucker.
Yeah, and then does the penance stare. Basically finds out where the kid was, like the kid's history, that Bram's history, and then basically makes Wolverine know what it too. He can transfer his knowledge into Wolverine's brain. So then they go to where they go? They go down to New Mexico or someplace. Where's this place at? They go to Utah. They go to Utah. Yeah. That's some Weapons Plus, the Hellfire program. So somebody's doing something with like demon powers. It's probably tied to that experiment that's been going on. That what are they called? I can't remember. But anyways, they're that secret government agency that was experimenting on like demon energy,
Yeah. I mean, they said Weapon Plus Hellfire section or some
Hellfire program or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I should have reviewed this before took a recap before I did this, because I read this like Wednesday when it dropped. So I'm trying to remember.
I just read it tonight, so it's still like fresh in my head. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple days, but it's still pretty cool. I didn't know it was going to be a part of this big giant event that was going on. Yeah. But
honestly, they barely mentioned it. They just okay, it's a thing that's happening, but honestly, it really doesn't matter to the story.
Yeah, mutants are now banned in the United States, and someone's going around killing mutants that are in hiding and turning them into these fucked up sculptures,
pretzels and shit. Whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. It was cool. I'm still on it. 4 out of 5. I'm still digging these series. So yeah.
I'm on. There's 2 more issues. One's gonna be Wolverine. Then they're gonna do like an Omega version. Yeah. So yeah. But you're reviewing them. I'm gonna keep up with them, but you're reviewing them. So
yeah, okay.
All right. So next book I'm going to do is where are you? Not that one. Is that the one? No. What is that? Uncanny Avengers is what I'm doing.
Oh, I almost picked this up, but then I didn't.
Okay, let me ask you this: did you read Free Comic Book Day, 2023? The free issue that came out.
I don't know. Avengers?
Uncanny Avengers. They had Uncanny Avengers had a Free Comic Book Day.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, because this is directly tied to that. Like we didn't review it on the show. My first time reading it was this morning. Like, oh shit, how did I miss all this shit? So
I just read the synopsis and saw Captain Krakoa and said, nah, I'm all right. I'm good.
You don't like Captain Krakoa?
Captain Krakoa.
All right, so let's get to it. Like I said, so basically this book is also tied into Fall of X. It's all one thing, and yeah, that's the book. So we have a new Uncanny Avengers book. Now for those that hadn't read the first Uncanny Avengers run, definitely go back and read it, but it's kind of confusing because at the time Captain America was a Nazi, but didn't tell everybody he was a Nazi. But if you reread that book, all the signs were there. You just didn't pick up on it at the time. So now Captain America is Captain America. He's just regular Captain America, and we got new Uncanny Avengers. For what I don't know what the Uncanny Avengers is, the Unity Squad, half Avengers, half X-Men. That's what the book is. But it's like a hand-picked team, strike force of Captain America's hand-picked team. That's what it is. So let's go. First issue. So you don't have to know anything other than 60 years of X-Men and Avengers. So the book starts off with not long ago. So it goes with the this is before the Hellfire Gala, with Dr. Stasis and MODOK are going to some hidden lair, and they're talking to some guy like it's time for him to awaken. We need him for the big mission that we're about to do. And they're talking to him, and whoever they're talking to can see them, and they're just saying their evil plan and what they're going to do. And they're like, are you ready to break out? And then we just see a hand break out of the sleeping chamber and like, oh shit, he must be ready. And they were like, let's go ahead and start the plan. So yeah, that's it. And let's get him a uniform. So we don't know who that guy is. We're gonna come back to later on. Meanwhile, Captain Krakoa. So what happened with Captain Krakoa? Captain Krakoa. Let's see if I say that 5 times.
Captain Coca-Cola.
Well, here's what he did. He attacked the Capitol. But
shit.
right,
they're going there.
They're going there, yeah. But he's a mutant, so they're thinking all mutants did that shit.
So this is the thing, okay? Because I read Alpha Flight #1. There's this whole theme going. I'll talk about it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Alpha Flight ties into all this also.
Yeah.
So that's going on. So Ben Urich is doing a recap of it because he's been cool with the X-Men, but then the X-Men started doing all kind of crazy shit. They've been saying how everything went crazy, how the X-Men basically cured Alzheimer's, but Orchis hacked into their drugs. So now the people taking those drugs for Alzheimer's and now getting killed by them, and they're blaming the mutants for them. So yeah, and you got Captain Krakoa, doing all this crazy shit. And so like I said, the mutants are banned. They're blaming Captain Krakoa because they think that it's Cyclops, but it's not. We actually don't even know who Captain Krakoa is. It's some guy, and he's throwing grenades at the Senate. So that's going on right now. And basically, they have concentration camps that they're putting all the mutants that didn't get hauled off to Mars. They're holding them in concentration camps now, and we're seeing one of them in Kansas City. And he's like, okay, everybody get in line. They really want you to, remind you of the Holocaust. That's kind of what they've been doing this whole time with this whole Fall of X thing. And you see one mutant in the line walks up. He was like, okay, when y'all see my signal, everybody run. But whatever you do, don't go to your homes. And the dude says, hey, get back in line, mutie. And then the mutant turns around and he pulls out like a cow prod. And then the mutant, bam, sword. And before the mutant, he like, what the fuck happened? Before he even knows what happened, bam, good blood gushes all over the Orchis soldier next to him. and he's bleeding on the ground like some Kill Bill shit. Who is it that drops the sword? Our girl, Psylocke. That's so right there. When you said Psylocke was in this book, I was sold. I'm good. That's all I need to know.
That's why I almost got it.
Yeah, because you got Psylocke doing Psylocke shit. Now we like I said, we know Psylocke got psychic lightsabers and shit like that, but she like, nah, fuck that. These folks killed children, so they're gonna feel this shit. I ain't got time for psychic knives and shit like that. No, they getting steel to the throat, dome, head, ribs, asshole, everything. They're catching it. So she stabs everybody she can think of. She like stabs one guy and like kicks him off her sword because she's like stuck on it. I'm trying to say, yeah, this scene right here, like she stabs, like, get the fuck off my sword, And that's like they really started to get like bloody and violent with these Marvel books. Like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah,
Nobody's paying attention to it.
You notice there was there was a bunch of like swearing in some of these books lately. Like they're showing shit. Like they'll spell out shit, but they'll like block out like fuck,
Yeah, they're really going there lately. Yeah. So and then that's when Psylocke finally pulls out the psychic knife because she wants them to like Ghost Rider's pin and stare. She wants them to feel what the children felt that they killed, and then fuck them all up. So now everybody's dead. All the Orchis people are dead. The mutants run out of the concentration camp. And then she feels like one more person is about to come for her. She can like psychically sense him. And so she turns around and stabs, and it's boom, Captain America. He was like, easy, Psylocke. And she like, okay, yeah. So the Orchis are American, like approved by the American government. So of course they'll send their #1 attack dog, Captain America, after the oppressed mutants. Of course they do that. And Captain America, and she like, what? Make it even, Cap. Where the rest of the Avengers at? Don't fight me one-on-one. And he was like, see, that's what I meant. That's what I'm here for, Psylocke. And so he throws his shield and it bypasses her and boom, 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 boom. And he's like, yeah, that's what I came to tell you, Psylocke. Obviously, you don't know my history. I have a history of fighting fascists myself. So I see this bullshit going on. I see what they're doing with the mutants. And I don't like this shit any more than you do. So here's the thing. I'm putting together a team. Would you like to join the team? And they were like, fuck it, why not? Okay, so let's do it. Let's join the team. So he recruits two mutant assassins. They were like, and they like, hold up, Cap, we don't do what you do. Like we chop these motherfuckers' heads off. We not for that cutesy shit that you're on. And so like, so what do you do? What are you gonna do if we go against the Orcus and you don't like what we do? He was like, look, avenge them. You do what you do. I'm not gonna say anything. And so, and that's when, look, I got Deadpool on the team. So you have nothing to worry about, and Quicksilver's there also. So yeah. And so basically they have a conversation like, okay, so the first time if Captain America say any crazy shit about the shit we do, we're gonna have a problem. We both gonna have a problem with Captain America. But like, until then, let's join the team. So that's the Unity Squad right there. So they get out of there and they run, and yeah. So they get out of there before the Stark Sentinels fly over the base. And yeah, so they go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm trying to recap. I'm just giving a grab for anybody listening to this. Orcus bought Stark Enterprises. They bought the company from under Tony Stark.
They mentioned those in the Alpha Flight book.
Yeah, and they're using his technology to transform the Sentinels into Iron Man Sentinels. Yeah, but Tony can't do anything about it because he's broke. Because they stole his company. So yeah. So anyway, so they get out of there and they go to the Morlock base. Oh, and Captain Krakoa is there also. So some people still think Captain Krakoa is a mutant, even though we really don't think he is. But some of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants think he is. That's why Blob is there and Wildside is there. So they're just joining him. That because they're thinking, because he's like, we're gonna get revenge on Orcus, and he went to go recruit some more people also. So he went to the jail cell where they stuck all the evil mutants at, and he freed them. So like, y'all on my team now. Y'all part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants now. You're like, okay, cool. So like, because I got two choices: you either join my team or you stay stuck down here, one or the other. All right. So they joined there. So you got Deadpool and Captain America, Steve Rogers just walking, and they're going to the Morlock base, and they basically kind of have a little, a conference with the X-Men. And there's Tony drunk off his ass with his new assistant, but his new assistant is in disguise. It's really Emma Frost. They've been getting real chummy with each other lately, and they meet the rest of the X-Men. They like Miss Marvel is there and also like that. They basically talk about what they're going to do next. They, basically say what they're going to do. They're joining the team, and that's just they find out that there's something going on somewhere. I forgot where it's going, but anyway, they're going to the next mission. And when they finally get there, it's the Brotherhood of Evil Mutant, but they're no longer called the Brotherhood of Mutant. They're called the New Mutant Liberation Front. They rebranded. Yeah, they rebranded. So now you got the Uncanny Avengers versus the New Brotherhood, and so then they're fighting. And Psylocke used to lead these folks. Like Wild Child and Blob. She used to be on the team with them. What's that book? The Fallen Angels or some shit.
Oh yeah.
They was on the same team. So she was like we don't need to fight. Let's just talk this out. You're like, nah, wow, Psylocke, you working for them. You working for the man. So now we got to take you out. So now they're fighting. Captain Krakoa just beat the shit out of everybody. They can't do anything. The Strucker twins are doing all wild shit. They blast a hole in Deadpool, and Deadpool looks at himself like, damn, I like this uniform. And he's looking at the hole in himself while everybody else fighting, and then so now we got Captain America versus Captain Krakoa, and he just beat the shit out of everybody, like bloom, bloom, just knocking everybody out. And that's when Captain like, let's go. And then you got this awesome ass panel right here, Captain America, as long as America stands or some shit. And so Captain America, like, you are not a mutant. This is bullshit. You pretend to be a mutant, and that is against the law of the Geneva Convention or some shit. Like he reading the right act. So anyway, Captain America, Captain Krakoa, we finally got the showdown. Let's go. And Captain America like, oh shit, this motherfucker's strong. And you're like really, I see Captain America, you are predictable. Let's break you out of that that predictability. And breaks his arm. The end. The end. To be continued. So yeah, that's the book. Like I said, it's a long, meaty book, girthy book, but they give you all the Uncanny Avenger-ness you want to. But anyway, it looks like Captain America is taken out in the first issue. So I don't know if Captain America is going to be on the mend or be out of commission and get a new leader. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'm into it. It's the same writer that was on the old Uncanny Avengers book that's on this Uncanny Avengers book. And that book was wild as fuck. If you want to know what happened to Red Skull, why you don't see Red Skull anymore, go read that book. I may talk about it next time we review another book, but I ain't gonna talk about it now. But yeah, overall, 4 out of 5. It's a good, strong opening, but I know other shit is coming.
Okay.
Yeah. So what
Cool.
you got next?
I'll just do Alpha Flight.
Okay. Is it more Fall of X?
Yeah, it's a total tie-in of Fall of X.
Okay. They are putting all the money can in this Fall of X.
Yeah, I just was bored and I decided to check this out just because.
I almost got it, but I don't know anything.
I am obligated. I am obligated to read.
Is Shaman in this? Shaman in this?
Shaman is in this. Yes.
Shaman is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he speaks a few times.
But isn't he like a genius or some shit?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But he's got a he does so he's not just in the background.
Okay.
So yeah, this is again, speaking of Fall of X, what's going on in the United States is now bleeding over into Canada. For those who don't know, Alpha Flight is a superhero team in Canada, Canadian superheroes, blah blah blah. So in America, they're banning mutants. Mutants are, basically discriminated against. They're, Orcus is after mutants. Krakoa has fallen. Mutants are going to Mars. They're rounding up all the mutants they can and throwing them into concentration camps. Now they're starting to do that shit in Canada. So they got Alpha Flight, the human members, the non-mutant members of Alpha Flight, to now go after mutants.
Yeah, because I think the mutant members of Alpha Flight were on Krakoa at the time.
Yeah, they So the non-mutant members have to go after their mutants in Canada. And that's essentially what's going on. They recruit, I forget that guy's name, but he develops a new Sentinel, a box Sentinel, I think it was called, because they were talking about the Stark Sentinels. His Sentinels are faster, smaller, and he can control them with his mind. He's got like a
okay. So the dude that's making them, who does he work? Is he Orcus? Is he Department H or?
He's Department H. He's the son of his dad developed.
Box used to be an Alpha Flight person.
Box. BOCH. Yeah, I think he was in that one book with the Occupy Avengers book with Red Wolf and.
Yeah, well, he's one of the OG Alpha Flight members. Box.
Yeah. So his son developed this stuff, and he can control them, like with his. He has like a headset controller. He can control all of them.
They're drones. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically. So while that's going on, there's other mutants. They're finding mutants all over. Their mutants are on the run in Canada. At one point, they show up they locate a mutant, try to get him, but then Dawkins and a couple other, ex-Alpha Flight team members show up and take off with them, and they have like a fight with Dawkins. Puck and Dawkins end up fighting and shit. They end up escaping with that mutant, and they take them. Dawkins takes them. The mutants, they have a hideout, and they're basically saying, we stay here while we go round up as many mutants as we can, and we're going to go to Mars. We're waiting. We got a ship. We got to take you all at once. So just lay low here while we gather as many mutants as we can, and we're going to take you all to Mars.
Wait, do they know that there's a civil war on Mars?
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
That's a big plot point also, but we're
I don't know. At some point, another guy, he was like some businessman. Turns out he's a mutant. He escapes and he's on the run. The government, Orcus is after him. He calls his wife and says, "Sorry, honey, I never told you this, but I'm a mutant. I try to keep it keep it a secret, but I'm a mutant, and I'll try. I hope I'll return someday." And he's on the run, and then it cuts to the wife. She's got Alpha Flight. Oh, thank you. We traced his call. He's here. So they go to locate the guy, but the Dawkins and those guys show up too, and then Alpha Flight shows up at the same time, and they're like, okay, they're sending those box Sentinels right now, so we gotta hide this guy before they get here. So Alpha Flight is playing both sides. They're actually, instead of hunting the mutants, they're actually help hiding them too.
Nice. Okay.
Even though
did they ever explain how Alpha Flight came back? Like where the hell they been and why they're back now? Did they?
No.
They never explained. They just back.
Maybe I didn't remember.
Okay. just fuck it. We're here.
But basically, there's a lot of exposition. Like this government, like the head of Department H is like talking a lot. There's a lot of her talking about what's going on, and with the government, and we got to get rid of mutants. Very like a proud, like a rally, like a one of those rallies I won't name that are discriminating against a certain marginalized group.
Yeah, and that's a lot of this fall of mutants is kind of doing it with.
Yes.
Where's is Sasquatch there? Is Sasquatch in the book?
I did not see him. No.
Because you remember what happened to him, right?
Last time I saw Sasquatch was in Immortal Hulk.
Right, and then like somebody stole his body, and he
went down to hell and all that shit.
And they never resolved it. He just left, and that's it. So, like, I don't know, just fuck it.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of I dug this, but there's a lot of like talking, a lot of word dumps, a lot of exposition dumps that kind of dragged a bit. Mm-hmm. But I did get the sense of, we all know mutants are, an allegory for marginalized groups, whether it be minorities or the gay community or whatever, Mm-hmm. And I feel that that's really coming through in this book, because they're banning mutants. They're mm-hmm. throwing them in the camps. They're saying they can't exist. They're taking away their rights. I mean, and there's a lot of that going on, particularly with like the trans community these days and any like minority group these days, immigrants or whatever, so there's that strong sense of that theme is going through what in this book. And it sounds like the whole fall of X, that the political commentary and
at the same time, like the X-Men been around so long, like even though a lot of times they just generalize marginal groups, sometimes they laser focus into a certain group, like in the 90s when they had the legacy virus and they had a disease that was only attacking mutants, the AIDS crisis. So, like right now, this definitely feels like they're targeting the mutants are Jews. That's basically what they're trying to do, like concentration camps. We got a mutant named Exodus leading an exodus in the desert to the promised land. They couldn't be more on the nose than that.
Well, in this one, it's like when I got a strong sense of like the trans community or like the gay community in this one, mm-hmm. because the one business guy, I tried to hide what I am. I tried to keep it a secret for as long mm-hmm. as I could, but it's out now. So that's what I got through this. Like we said, like X-Men have always been sort of a commentary on discrimination. And it just, at first you're like, wow. I mean, people are calling Alpha Flight a bunch of sellouts and traitors because they're hunting their own kind or whatever.
And it's funny, like in the same book I just read, Uncanny Avengers, the Brotherhood are calling the Uncanny Avengers the same thing. Yeah. Like they thinking they're on Captain America side, so y'all must be working for the other people,
Yeah. It is like a little disturbing in a way how it's sort of, because they're at a press conference. Like this Department H chick is like doing a press conference. It's like, and now the leaders of hunting mutants are Alpha Flight, and it's just like how like we sort of like the media sort of changes narratives, and just goes along and runs with a particular story.
Right. And part of the story also is that Orchis controls the media. Yeah. So one of the part is that the reason they was able to have everybody turn on the X-Men and the mutants so fast because they can put out whatever press conference story they want and make people believe whatever they want to believe.
Yeah. And like, certain news outlets will do that. They will
and they will always say mutant terrorists, regardless of what happened, so. Yeah.
They spin a story. We all know what the truth is, but they'll spin it in their favor and then run with that. And then till people just start buying it.
Right. And it's a snowball effect. It's right. Yeah. One person leaving and then it becomes the truth.
Yeah. And in this case, we have Alpha Flight, who are now hunting their own.
Right.
And they're being called traitors and all that stuff. But it is revealed at the end, like, wow, no, they're not. They're not hunting their own. They're actually helping them. They're working both sides. And so that was like the big twist at the end. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So they're not sellouts, you know. Cool. So yeah, I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. I dug it. It's just there was a lot of talking.
Yeah.
A lot of exposition dumps, you know.
Well, that's why I'm glad you was able to explain it. So I ain't got to read all that exposition shit.
And I'm not like a big Alpha Flight guy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not all in the Alpha Flight.
Yeah. I just like, oh, I'll read some Alpha Flight because Shaman's on it. Like I said, I felt obligated to read this.
At least the first issue.
Yeah. At least the first issue. You know.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, this was a slow week. So I decided to pick up a book that I haven't read in a while. This is a milestone book.
I saw this and I was like, "Damn, number 4?
Number 4, yeah. I saw the other book. I just passed by him. I was like, you know what? I fell off. I'm not gonna worry about it. But the 4th issue, I decided, I'll pick it up. Whatever. I don't know if this. I feel like this is the last issue of this run. I feel like this is the finale, but because it felt like a finale. But yeah, but that's going on right now. It's Icon versus Hardware number 4. That's going on right now. So yeah, it's a twist. We'll go into it. It's a interesting book. Even though it's a 4th issue, they haven't keeping up with it. I was able to keep up what's going on. So let's just jump into it. Boom. All right. So for those that are keeping up with the book, me included, Hardware went back in time. And basically when he came back to the present time, everything's fucked up. So now you got dinosaurs, woolly mammoths running all around Dakota City right now. They're taking over the city. And Icon is trying to stop them, and Rocket is trying to stop it, and Hardware is trying to stop it. They're like, okay, we screwed up the timeline. We don't know where these dinosaurs came from and shit, but let's just do our best to save the people, you know. So they're punching dinosaurs and shit, and one of the dinosaurs grab a random person, and Icon and Rocket like, Icon, do you see that? He like, yeah, I see that. So he throws a bus at him. He's like, okay, Rocket, you're up. Go take care of it. So Rocket flies through the eyes of the dinosaur. Blinds him and then grabs the dude right when the dinosaur drops him. She's like, you okay? Yeah, okay. And then you see like these Transformer GoBot looking motherfuckers, and they show up and they just like, I kind of like, who the hell are you? They're like, we're the Systematics. We're not here to fight you right now, but don't worry, we will meet you later on after we finish this, clean up the disaster of dinosaurs and woolly mammoths and saber-tooth tigers and shit, you know. Meanwhile, we find out who they're working for. They're working for Alva. Alva is the bad guy that Hardware fights all the time, you know, the part of the evil industry, shit like that. And he's telling him, since all these time variants are flying around all over the place like that, I want y'all to grab some for me so I can do experiments on. Matter of fact, I want you to grab some very specific subjects. I want you to grab Joseph Stalin, Vlad the Impaler, and Genghis Khan.
And matter of fact, Serpentor.
Right. Because since they're some of the greatest generals in history, we can learn something from them. Matter of fact, I'll throw a bonus in for anybody and get me Hitler. You know. Meanwhile, the Nazis are marching down the Dakota City suburbs. They're just marching down there, goose stepping and shit. And they're like, what the fuck? So yeah, they're marching through the hood and Static shows up. They're marching through Static's hood. And Static is just like, hold up, man. See, I don't know if y'all from the past or are y'all just like racist ass cosplayers just doing this shit just because y'all think it's fun, you know, like cosplayers. and basically Static like, look, when y'all marching through our hood, we were having a barbecue, and I'm letting y'all know right now, none of y'all are invited to the cookout. And he's like, kneel or die. And that's when his family like, man, go ahead, take these dudes out. And that's when he like lights up a lighting pole, shocks all them, and they're done, and they go back to the cookout. He's like, okay, now throw the music back on. And I guess they played the Cupid Shuffle or some shit. I don't know, some shit. Anyway, they're still fighting dinosaurs, and Rocket is saying, oh, I gotta go to Paris Island. My mom is at Paris Island. I have no idea what's going on over there. They're like, okay, go there and have it. We'll handle these dinosaurs and shit like that. So while they're handling the dinosaurs, skip this. I don't care about this. I do like Little Bit. Little Bit's cool. She's awesome here. They need to do something with her. Meanwhile, Rocket goes to Paris Island, and what she sees in the Paris Island, that's where the Blood Syndicate lives. So the Blood Syndicate are fighting the Confederate Army. And she's just like, oh yeah, the Confederate about to take another L. And they're like, we need another holiday for the ass we're about to put on them. So they just beat the shit out of the Confederate army and run them off, and then that's it, So while they're doing all that, so the Blood Syndicate is there, Static is in the suburb, and then Icon like gives a telepathic message to all the milestone heroes, like y'all need to meet us downtown. Hardware got something to tell y'all because Hardware fucked up. So they go down there, Hardware basically tell them what happened. Okay, yeah, I went back in time because I found a time machine and I fucked up time. But what I did at first, I went 30 years in the time to fix my own time, to fix some shit in my life. After that, I went 600 years into the past. Why do you got 600 years back in the past? Why do you think I went 600 years back in the past? I ended slavery. And they're like, you did what? Yeah, I ended slavery.
Oh, there's what's her face?
Who? Brick House?
Brick House.
Yeah, Brick House. Yeah, Barbara Bloodson, she was there. So yeah. So everybody is shocked that he went back and ended slavery. But he said, but the reason it took me so long to come back here, because when I ended slavery, that's when all the dinosaurs and shit started running loose. So I had to go back and fix the time. And then one of the Blood Syndicates, I guess Tech 9, he like, so why did you fix it? He like, fix what? Like, why'd you go back in time and fix it? He like, because I'd rather have dinosaurs and shit running around right now than the shit they putting us through right now. Yeah. So, and then Rocket's like, hell, they trying to erase our history in schools anyway. You might as well go back in time and erase history, And then Icons are like, well, things aren't that bad nowadays, are they? And then Static jumps in. He's like, yeah, things are a lot better now for black people than they were like 600 years ago. And that's when the Blood Syndicate is just like, see, but don't all of y'all like live in the suburbs and shit? So, of course, y'all would think that because y'all don't live like we live. Because y'all going to have it, my friend. Y'all get money and y'all forget about everybody else. And then the Blood Syndicate is like, okay, fuck all that. Hardware, give us the time machine and we'll go back in time and fuck that shit up. And Hardware pulls out the time machine and he destroys it. You're like, no, I'm destroyed. And then the Blood Syndicate is like, man, fuck you, Hardware. They should call your ass software.
I want to see the Blood Syndicate's version of time.
Right. They go back in time and do the shit. Right. So they are talking shit and stuff like that. And while they talking shit, they hear a noise and they see a robot just pop out of nowhere and just flying. And when I looked at the robot, I'm like, that robot look damn familiar. Where did the robot come from? And they just like, okay, Hardware and Icon are going to go follow the robot. And everybody else like, so what do we do? And Icon's like, y'all clean this shit up. And Blood Kid like, man, fuck you. Let me clean this shit up. So they go in there, and that's when the robot goes to Smallville. And that's what we learned, like in another book. I don't know if it's Icon or Hardware, something like that. But anyway, Clark Kent is dead in the Milestone universe. They killed him as a baby. I think Martian Manhunter killed him as a baby. Like the Milestone universe is like crazy as fuck right now. Anyway, Clark Kent is dead. That's what the robot is telling. And who is the robot telling this shit to? Brainiac. But it's not Milestone Brainiac. This is Brainiac. Brainiac is putting his robots all throughout the multiverse looking for shit, looking for other Superman and categorizing what the fuck else is going on out there. So he's in that universe. He's telling that robot, send me all the information you got on whatever universe you in right now. And before the robot can do that, that's when, Hardware and Icon shows up and the robot like, oh, I got some people on me. Let me blast them real quick like that. But Icon's ship is like made of alien technology from way in the past. He's like, how the hell is this robot affecting me? It shouldn't be damaging my ship because my ship is the best thing ever, And then the robot just flies off. And then it's like, what the hell was that? And basically they compare notes. But the thing is, Icon and Rocket kind of like a Batman, Superman thing. They really don't like each other. They always arguing all throughout the book, all throughout all these books. But they come together and Hardware uploads the information that he found on the robot on the main ship. So when they do that, and meanwhile, their robot finally gets free and gives the information to Brainiac. And what Brainiac finds out about, so Brainiac knows everything about the Milestone universe now. They tell him that there is no Superman. Clark Kent is dead. However, there is another hero on this universe that is either just as strong as Kryptonian or maybe even stronger. And he is a Terminian. They're talking about Icon. Icon is a Terminian. That's the name of his race. And basically his race, hundreds of years ago, went to war with their Brainiac, basically a version of Brainiac in that universe, and they killed him. And Brainiac's like, what? Oh, hell no. So he's like, okay, you come back to this universe, Give me all the information. We're going to regroup, and we're going to go back to that universe, and we're going to find out who killed me in that universe. So, like, okay, so Brainiac's getting ready to war. And see, Icon, when he finally sees the robot, Icon didn't get a chance to see the robot. Now that he sees the robot, he's like, oh, shit, I recognize the robot. That's one of Brainiac's robots. My entire city. The thing is, Icon doesn't belong to like one race. His planet was like a collection of a whole bunch of races, and they all went to war with Brainiac, and half of them got killed, but they finally killed Brainiac, and now they know Brainiac is coming to this universe for him. And he like, we ain't got enough people to fight Brainiac. We barely beat him then. We don't have enough people. He was like, what the hell are you talking about? You got me, we got you, we got Static, we got the Blood Syndicate. We got enough people to handle Brainiac if he decides to come over here. They're like, okay, we got that. That's the book. So yeah, so that's what, and then some other shit with Rocket, but I ain't gonna talk about that. So yeah,
that's some other shit with Rocket.
Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about Rocket, but that's basically. But the thing was, like when Brainiac just showed up, I'm like, what the fuck? So basically, Brainiac is about to go to war with the Biostone universe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, so they doing some stuff over there.
Hey, look who's in the house.
I ain't even look, but let me guess. Damn it, Fat T, where the hell were you, man? We were looking for you.
Should have been here an hour ago.
We were looking for you an hour ago, man. We want to know where the hell you were.
Yeah,
that's okay.
We wanted a Q&A on the new Texas Chainsaw game.
Right. That's okay. I'm going to steal your footage. We're going to load that shit.
Did you see the praise getting forked? Yes, Jake, I did see that it's getting a release, and I'm going to pick that shit. Well, look what I'm wearing.
Predator. There you go.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Native Predators. I wore this to the powwow today.
Here's the thing. If they put Prey in like a bundle with the other Predators, like they do a whole bundle, I'm about a whole bundle.
Well, I love physical releases for like the extras and stuff. I love watching the extras and behind the scenes and shit. So
I'm all over for the audio commentary, DVD commentary.
That too.
Gotta have it. So yeah, but that's all I got. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5 because that ending, I was like, Brainiac, the fuck? So yeah, and plus it was just some cool, and plus hardware ended slavery. So and the Blood Syndicate, like, what the fuck, man? Why didn't you just? Because basically the whole book was he undid it. And then he did it and then undid it because he fucked it up with saber-tooth tigers and dinosaurs. Okay, and I think in the second issue, now he didn't just like go back in colonial times to end slavery. He like ended like slavery when it first started. Like I think he fought Vandal Savage, and I think Vandal Savage created slavery. So when he like killed Vandal Savage, the concept, the idea of slavery never formed. So nobody ever did it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like that's some trippy shit, but okay. All right. So yeah, so what you got?
I'm gonna do the CULL #1.
Okay.
This is
you gotta break it down because I don't know what this is.
This is on Image, right? Yeah, this is
on
Image. Yeah. It's an indie book. Kelly Thompson.
Okay.
And what's that guy's name? Mattia de Luis. You've seen his work before. He's done a bunch of stuff. He worked on like Immortal Hulk. He's done those Star Wars covers. He's got a really cool. Of course, this is a variant. This isn't his artwork, but it's a variant cover. Yeah, he has a very cool, sleek, like photorealistic art style. And that's what makes this book awesome. This is basically kind of like the Goonies. It's a bunch of teenage girls or paper girls. Remember Paper Girls?
Which they say Stranger Things. Got their
Stranger Things, Stand By Me, It, Lost Boys. That same sort of a bunch of teenage kids fighting a big evil or whatever. But basically, this group of teenage girls, it's like their last summer together or whatever. They're gonna go shoot a short film. And then they end up unknowingly finding another dimension with big giant monsters. So essentially that's the premise. But this book is all setting up all the characters. We're getting a background on everybody. One of the girls, I think their brother went missing, so that's kind of hanging over her head. Yeah, they're all just sort of waking up in the middle of the night because they live like on this coastal sea town, and there's like a rock you can only get to it when it's low tide, and that's where they're going to shoot. So they get up in the middle of the night to go to during low tide on the ocean, so they can walk out to this rock on the water and then shoot their short film there. And that's where they discover this portal to another dimension or whatever. And that's kind of all that happens, but it's just introducing the characters. So I really dug on this. This might even be my book of the week.
Now you flip flopping. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool, that's like one of my favorite. I love like the Lost Boys and Stand By Me and the Goonies and all that shit. Monster Squad. That's always been like one of my favorite genres of kids fighting monsters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of in that vein. These girls are go on an adventure together and fight these incredible odds and shit. And yeah, I thought it was really cool, and the art is dope. Like I said, it's got this real photorealistic style of artwork. Very pretty to look at, and just getting to know these characters. Yeah, Kelly Thompson just sort of introduces the characters with in this book, this first issue, and just sort of sets up, the cliffhanger, and that's about it. Of course, the girl whose brother went missing, she said, "Oh, I think this is where my brother's at. This is where because he's been missing." So. Mm-hmm. I'm going in because I think my brother's in there. So she goes through the portal. So that's where it ends. To be continued. And I really dug on this. So I'm going to 4 out of 5. I'll probably pick up the next issue just for the artwork alone. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. So I'm booked out. That's all right. I read Ghost Rider. I count that.
I read a bunch of. I read like the Daredevil. I read Alien. I read a bunch of shit, but I just reviewing these ones.
Cool. All right. So, like I said, we got some other. Well, next week, Eli, it's going to be your your
Ahsoka.
show. Yeah. Because next week, Eli is going to do a frame by frame analysis of everything. Like that,
I think I've done that already.
That ass shot. You're gonna bring it. Okay, so this canonically is. You can do all this shit. So, like I said, take as long as you want.
We're gonna compare asses. Here's Ahsoka's ass. Here's Hera's ass. Here's
right.
And we just got
right. So here's the thing. I plan to watch Gran Turismo, and I plan to review it. However, depending on how you review Ahsoka, if you take long enough with Ahsoka, I'll save Gran Turismo for next week. I got a problem with that.
But you know what? I've broken down like Rebels, and I've said but I've done it before. They can go back and listen. We'll see how I feel.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel. Like
I could go deep.
I'm gonna have Gran Turismo in the back pocket.
Yeah, I could go deep, but if it's gonna be me, if I'm the only one talking,
I mean, because I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it, but I don't know what I'm watching. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do breakdowns. I'm gonna just be like, oh, monster, cool. Spaceship. Okay.
And I'm like, that is actually called
right. Well, actually.
Yeah. And its first appearance was in
like Eli, where'd you get glasses all of a sudden? Just so you can do this.
Well, I do need reading glasses, so I actually
I do too. Shit. That's why we squinting at the shit we wrote down. Like, what does that say?
Yeah.
That sucks. All right, shoot. Yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. You listen long in 30 seconds. Appreciate you. Those 30 seconds helps the algorithm.
Oh shit. I'm just noticing this.
What?
Frankie was in the house. What up, Frankie? I'm
just
noticing this.
I feel like this is some Kaiser Sose shit.
This is like this is like an hour ago.
Yeah, the caller was in the house the whole time.
He's in the back seat. Get out.
Right.
Because I was talking about Godzilla.
Okay, so yeah, well, Frank, we didn't see you was here.
Yeah, shout out to Frank, shout out to Jake and Fat T. Y'all rock.
Yeah, and plus we got some other listeners that hit us up during the week that just jumped in with us, been hitting up the podcast. Appreciate y'all for jumping on, leaving comments and things like that. Hopefully you stick around. Like I said, that 30 seconds is crucial. It helps the algorithm. Helps us boost up and get numbers and all stuff like that, and we kind of go from there. So, like I said, next week we'll come back with something else. We'll see how it goes. Until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully show.